Hey everybody, Merry Christmas Eve! So I have a little technical difficulties, but I have taken care of it, so we should be okay, except it looks like my video is rolling. I don't know what that's all about. It may be the light's too low in here, so I'm going to turn it up just a little bit, see if that helps. Okay, so I'm just going to do a candlelight gentle practice. I do actually have real fire. Oh my gosh. But I figure since I'm not going to be walking around and I'm in the safe confines of my own room, I might be trusted. Maybe. We'll see what happens. So if you're going to join me live, as I posted earlier, hopefully you've got all of your props. I've got 2 purple bolsters, I've got 2 blankets, and I've got 2 blocks. I have no idea what I'm going to do. I'm just going to kind of go with the flow. I am wearing my Namaste sweater, even though it's a little warm today, but Santa's in tree pose, which I think is so cute. Got to do that. And so, you know, let's just get comfy and do this. And of course, if you can't join me live, hi Debbie. You can watch this later because I know a lot of people have family coming in tonight or they're preparing food for tomorrow or whatever. Fortunately, my husband does most of the cooking and he basically said, go do your practice and when you're done, we'll have dinner. He's so great. All right, so I'm going to start off on my 2 blankets just because we're going to start an easy pose and I cannot sit on the floor and do easy pose right now. So I'm going to start on my 2 blankets. I'm going to get my bolsters and prop myself up. But go ahead and come into easy pose in whichever manner is doable for you tonight. Whether that's on blankets or on the floor or whatever. We're going to bring our hands to our knees. Your palms can be open and up, or they can be down. Or you can even have your hands in your lap if you prefer. Just sitting up nice and straight. Let's relax the shoulders. Just breathe, listening to your breath. Because you're probably having a pretty hectic day, week, month. I've been seeing all this stuff posted on Facebook about all these last minute preparations, and I'm really so glad that we don't do that. So, you know, once we came home from work, I could relax. So just close your eyes if you want. On your next exhale, dropping your left ear to your left shoulder. Then inhale, bringing your head back to center. And exhale, your right ear to your right shoulder. Just move with your own breath. Stretching out your neck. You don't have to go with really, really deep breaths since we're doing a restorative gentle practice. You know, just kind of keep the breath going. Then on your next inhale, when you come back to center, let's exhale and walk the hands forward onto our mats. Pushing into your palms to push your hips back, keeping your neck neutral. Your back is flat. Just breathe and stretch. Just really taking your time, stretching out your body. At the end of your next exhale, walk your hands back in. Let's bring the left hand behind us. Bring the right hand to your left knee On the inhale, sitting up nice and tall. On the exhale, just gently twisting to your left. And I think I'm probably looking opposite of you guys, so I may have to go back to mirroring you. So don't get confused. Follow what I tell you to do, not what you see me doing. I'll turn it around in a minute. And then we're going to exhale through center and take the right hand behind us, the left hand to that knee. Once again, sitting up nice and straight before you twist. We always want a nice tall spine on our twist. That way we have equal space between each one of the vertebrae. And then at the end of your exhale, turn forward. If you're capable of switching your legs out, go ahead and do so. In my case, I can't do that yet. I'm working on it, so we're getting there. But go ahead and switch your legs out if you can. If you can't, don't worry about it. And of course, you want to be in whichever version of easy pose is good for you. So if you need to have one leg out to the side like I do, that's absolutely fine. I guess I can move back just a little bit so you can see me better. All right. Once again, sitting up nice and tall, relaxing your shoulders. On your next inhale, avoiding your props, let's bring the arms up, palms come together. On your exhale, we'll come over onto the left palm or forearm, bringing the right arm up or over, either one. You can look up or down. Now I should be mirroring you, but I'm not sure because the phone flips things around sometimes. And, you know, if you're opposite of me, who really cares? As long as you're getting a stretch on both sides so that you're not unbalanced any more than we are already unbalanced. Then we'll inhale, bringing the palms back together, and exhale, coming over onto the right palm or forearm, stretching the left arm across or straight up. Make sure that both sitting bones stay firmly rooted into your mat or your blankets. And we're going to inhale, bringing both hands back up, and just trace a line down the front of your body on the exhale, bringing each hand to its respective knee. Bring your chin into your chest. On the exhale, we're going to round the back, coming into baby spine pose. Just for Karen. Just breathe. Then we'll inhale, coming back up. And we're going to go ahead and extend the left leg onto the mat, bringing the right foot to the inside of the thigh or to the shin. Pull your buns out because, you know, we're going on a trip. Got to get that butt luggage in place. Bring the fingertips out to the side. Let's inhale, bringing the arms up. Lengthen, really come out of your waist and stretch. And exhale, folding from the top of your thigh, coming into head to knee pose. Taking your hands to wherever you're comfortable, whether that's the outside edges of your foot, your shin, one hand on each side of your leg on the mat. Of course, you're welcome to use a strap if you are so inclined or need to. Just remember, if you're using the strap, to keep your elbows down by your side, not pulling forward. Because if you're pulling forward, you're stressing yourself too much. Keeping your back flat, your neck is neutral. Just breathe into it. And when we're doing a gentle practice and we get into this sort of pose, if you want to breathe deeply, and do your normal yoga breath, go for it. If you prefer to just use your regular breath, but through your nose, not through your mouth, that's fine as well. We're not overly stressing ourselves, but sometimes it really helps to still breathe deeply when you're in something like this because you're stretching out pretty good. One more nice deep breath in. And then at the end of your exhale, walk your hands back in. And we're going to bring the right foot flat to the mat, adjusting it wherever you need to along your leg. Let's bring the right hand behind us. Inhale, bringing the left arm up. And exhale, twist to the right. Either wrapping your arm around the knee or taking your hand to your knee. You guys have been doing this long enough to know what you're comfortable in with this, so just follow what your body tells you. The more important thing is that you're sitting up nice and tall and you're getting a good twist. And then we'll exhale and turn forward. Let's extend the right leg onto the mat. Bring the left foot either to the shin or the thigh. If you're sitting flat on the mat, go ahead and pull your buns out from under you again. If you're on blankets, that's probably not as necessary. Bringing your fingertips out to the floor once again. Let's inhale, bringing the arms up, lengthen, and exhale, fold. And again, we're going to take the hands to wherever we're comfortable tonight. And that varies from day to day, so, always listen to your body. Just keep breathing into it. One more nice deep breath in and exhale out and come back up, and then bring the left foot flat to the mat, adjusting it wherever you need to. Bringing the left hand behind you, inhale your right arm up and exhale, twist. And this time we're twisting to the left, so I screwed you up last time, but whatever. As long as you're twisting the opposite of what you did last time, it's all good. And then we'll exhale and turn forward. I'm going to go ahead and move my blankets off to the side. We're going to come into wide leg seated forward bend, and we're going to use the bolster and 2 blocks. If you want to stay on your blankets, feel free. I just prefer to be on the floor for this. So let's go ahead and spread the legs out wide. If you need blankets to cushion your heels, or if you want to turn sideways on your mat to cushion your heels, feel free to do that. Then we're going to get the 2 blocks. You're going to position them however you want. I like the bottom block on the low side and then the top block on the high side, at least to start. We're going to stay in this for a little bit, so I got to get my timer here. So you may find that as you go through this, you can adjust the blocks down, and you may find that you won't. It's really going to get to you. Then you're going to bring the bolster onto your blocks. More than likely, you're going to have to go ahead and hold on to one of the blocks to keep the bolster from capsizing. And of course, you want to make sure you're paying attention to your candle and where it is in relation to where you are. So we're going to go ahead and rest the forehead on the bolster, or if you want to turn your head to one side or the other, feel free to do so. We're going to stay in this for a few minutes, so if at any point you feel uncomfortable and you need to come out of it, just do so. How, Kelly? Mindfully, yes. Always being aware of your body and what it needs. But go ahead and sink into your bolster. Rest your head however you want. And just breathe. I'm going to let you guys relax in this. I'm not going to say too much for the next few minutes. I know, shocking. Now, as we're in this pose, if you start to feel like you can go a little deeper into the pose, you can adjust your blocks accordingly to get you a little closer to the floor, but always listening to your body and not forcing it to do anything that it's not prepared to do. But that is a nice way to kind of work your way down to the floor as we go into the connective tissues. If your head is turned to one side and you want to turn it to the other side, go ahead and do so now. Of course, if your forehead is to the bolster, then don't worry about it. At the end of your next exhale, let's come back up to seated. We're going to go ahead and move everything off to the side for a moment. We want to release the hips one at a time, bringing the feet flat to the mat. And we're going to grab hold of the knees and come into birthing baby pose. That's just what I'm going to call it from now on. Relax your shoulders. Just pull up between your legs. Breathe. And we're going to release that and we're going to come on to all fours. I'm going to turn these lights down just a little bit because you don't really need to see me so much and, give myself a little mood lighting. Let's come on to all fours. Spreading the fingers nice and wide, bringing the wrist underneath the shoulders. The knees are underneath the hips. Tops of the feet are flat. On the inhale, we're going to drop the belly and look up to the ceiling. On the exhale, bring the chin into your chest, round your back. Since this is a gentle practice, I will refrain from animal noises. But if you want to do them at home, go for it. Just move with your own pace, your own breath. There's no hurry in cat-cow. Really, there's no hurry in anything unless, of course, you've got a party to get to or something like that. And then I'd be surprised if you were here doing yoga with me. At the end of your next exhale, bring your back to neutral. We're going to shift the hips over to the left and just look over the right shoulder, just kind of stretching out the hips a little bit. And inhale back to center, shift the hips to the right, looking over the left shoulder. Let's do that just a couple more times. It just kind of moves the hips in a different way. Then we'll come back to center. We're going to take the left leg and just lift it up and stretch. Come up out of your shoulders, so kind of like tiger pose, except instead of bringing the foot in, just really stretch it out, almost like you would in three-leg down dog. Just stretch out the body, and then we'll bring that knee back down to the mat, and we'll inhale and take the right leg out and just stretch so you're getting some length. And then set that knee back down onto the mat. We're going to turn the toes under and we're just going to go into one down facing dog. That's the only one we're going to do. Unfortunately, I cannot do pigeon, so I'm not going to take you guys into it. So if you want to do pigeon later on your own, feel free. But we're going to inhale, looking up to the ceiling. Exhale, coming into downward facing dog. Once you're here, if you want to walk your dog, feel free. Just moving one leg at a time. Getting some movement into your hips. Then we'll bring the knees back together. Really stretch the hips out. Nice soft knees. Then we're going to exhale down. Let's come gently down onto our bellies. Oh, got a little catch there. Yikes, gotta work that out. Okay, once you're down on your belly, let's go ahead and cross the arms out in front of us, resting your forehead on your arms. Just watch out for your candle. And yes, I'm saying that to myself as much as to all of you. Rest your forehead on your arms. Turn your toes out to opposite sides of the room, and if you want to bend your knees, we're coming into crocodile pose, so think about a crocodile's legs. Just breathing, feeling the breath in your belly. And we'll bring the legs back together, bend the knees, and then windshield wiper your legs back and forth. You can go into a deep windshield wiper or a shallow one, that's up to you. Really listen to your hips when you're doing this. And if you're having any kind of issues, it's not going to be so much fun to go super deep. So always listen to your body. And we'll come to a stop. Let's take the legs back down to the mat. Bring the hands to the base of the chest and drop your knees. We're going to push back up onto all fours. So at this point, I'm going to give you several choices. You can grab your bolster and come into child's pose on the bolster, and we're going to stay there for a little while. Or if you want to come into frog pose, ribbit, Sorry, I couldn't resist. You can do that. Grab your blankets and turn sideways on your mat and go into frog. If you want to do happy puppy, you can. And you can even use a bolster for that. But we're going to stay here for a little while. So if you want to start in one and switch to the other, I'll call it about halfway through and then you can switch. So either come into child's pose or frog pose. I bet I know which one Debbie's picking. Really get your bolster, blankets if you need them, whatever props you need to stay in this for a bit, because we're going to stay in it for about probably 3 to 4 minutes. So just rest down. Let your props assist you. Breathe. And again, I'm not going to say too much for a while, so I'm still here. Trust me. If you want to come out of the pose you're in and go into the other pose, so if you want to go from frog to child's pose or child's pose to frog, go ahead and do so now. Or if you just want to turn your head to the opposite side, do that. And we're going to exhale coming out of whichever pose you're in. You can move your bolster off to the side or come back onto your mat if you were in frog pose. And let's bring our blocks onto our mat. We're going to bring the knees back together and we're going to go into shoulder stretch on the blocks. So you can have them on the high side or you can have them on the medium side. I don't generally recommend the low side for this because it's just too far down for most people. Bring the hands together and bring them onto the upper part of your back. And then we're going to bring the arms down onto the blocks and stretch out. Remember to make this your own. So if you need to
adjust the blocks in some way, that's fine. If you keep your head lifted, it gives you a different stretch than if you tuck your head down. So kind of play with it. If you need to widen your knees out to give yourself some space, go ahead and do that. You do not have to sit on your shins like I'm doing. You can widen out like you would be in child's pose. Just breathe, stretching the shoulders, stretching the arms, the upper back. And one more nice deep breath and exhale, and we'll come back up and move the blocks off to the side. We're going to go ahead and come down onto our backs now. So if you got a clippy in your hair, you're going to have to take it out. I'm going to turn a little bit sideways here. So bring your feet flat to the mat, and we're going to bring the knees into the chest. And you can either cross your ankles and rock and cradle rock, or you can come into happy baby, whichever you prefer. So of course, if you want to come into happy baby, you're going to bend your knees, take your feet into the air, grab the outside edges of the feet. So my general rule of thumb there is the elbows go to the inside of the legs, the hands go to the outside of the feet. And then widen your legs out, and you can rock in happy baby as well. Just focus on any area of your back that might be really sore tonight. Rock-a-bye baby. And since it is our Christmas Eve, I'm kind of thinking like, you know, away in the manger, we're rocking the baby. I thought about doing my Christmas class this year because it's pretty fun. But I can't do a lot of those poses right now, so I just decided I'd do a gentle candlelight. I didn't think anybody would object too much. Just rocking and breathing. Then we'll come to a stop. Uncross your ankles or bring your feet back down with your knees bent. We're going to extend the left leg onto the mat. Except I got a catch right in there and it's not working very well. Okay. I'm not going to extend mine because something's going on in my groin. I don't know what it is. So keep your right knee into your chest, and let's just hold on to the knee and circle our ankle. Getting or circle your foot. Let's see if I can get a bolster under this. I'm having technical difficulties. Okay, there we go. So let's just circle the foot, really getting into each part of the ankle, then reverse the direction of your circle. Stretching it out. And then we're going to point and flex with the foot. And then we'll come to a stop. Let's bring the right arm out to the side of the body. I think I'm going to get this right. The left hand will stay to the knee. On the exhale, we're going to twist down to the left into revolved abdomen. And I'm going to see if I can actually do it. Okay. Keep your shoulders as flat to the mat as possible, and then if you want to continue the twist, you can look over your right shoulder, or you can look up to the ceiling. That's up to you. At the end of your next exhale, bring the knee back up. Give it a little hug into your chest and take it out onto your mat. Let's bring the left knee into the chest and we'll start making circles with the foot. Stretching out the ankle. And then reverse the direction of your stretch. And then we'll point and flex. Then bring the foot to a stop, keeping the right hand to your knee. Take the left arm to the outside of your body. On the exhale, twisting down to the right. Once again, keeping the shoulders as flat to the mat as possible. And if you want to look over your left shoulder, you can. Or you can just look up to the ceiling. Try to make sure that your top foot is anchored somewhere, whether that's on the floor or on top of the extended leg, on top of your bolster, whatever you want to do. And then at the end of your exhale, bring that knee back up, give it a little hug, and we'll send the leg out onto the mat. So I'm going to roll over and come back up to seated. So we're going to go into Shavasana now, or legs up the wall if you want to do that. It's going to be a really nice supported one. So I want you to use your props in whatever way that you want. So really get blankets, eye pillows, bolsters, blocks, whatever you want to do. If you have one of the blue bolsters, you can turn it side or long ways on your mat behind you, and then lay your back on top of that and your head, and then you can take a purple bolster and put it underneath your lower back, your sacrum. And then I like to take the blocks onto the floor, rest my arms on the blocks. I have a blanket over me and an eye pillow. So if you want to do that, go ahead and take your time to get into this position. Just beware of your handle and where it is. I'm going to go ahead and go into legs up the wall, because that's my favorite. And I'm going to be keeping an eye on the time so I can bring us out of this when we need to come out of it. Not that we're in a hurry, but you know, sometimes if I can't see the clock, I'm going to shortchange us, and I don't want to do that. So everybody start to get into whatever resting posture you want tonight, whether that's Shavasana, legs up the wall, reverse Shavasana. You can lay on your side. If you lay on your side, make sure you've got a blanket or a small pillow in between your knees. And I'm going to go ahead and check the time here so I know what we're doing. So everybody close their eyes, and then bring your breath back to its natural rhythm if you weren't already breathing naturally. Relax everything in your body into the mat. So I want you to focus on your breath, and I want you to start at the crown of your head. And on each exhale, I want you to relax a different part of your body. So starting at the crown, you're going to relax your forehead. Then on your next exhale, relax the eyes in their sockets. Exhale, relaxing the tongue away from the roof of your mouth. Exhale, bring your shoulders down from your ears. Bring your waist down from your ribs. You're really starting to sink into the mat now. Bring your hips down from your waist. And just keep going till you get to your toes. Let's start to very gently get some movement back into our bodies. Gently coming out of Shavasana. When you're ready, rolling to one side and resting there for a breath or two before coming gently back to seated. You can come back into easy pose. Whatever you would like to do. But I do want you in a decent sitting position. So I'm going to turn my lights down a little bit. There we go. Okay. Go ahead and get your candle. Bring it to where you can see it. And if you're in easy pose, that's going to be probably the way to go. I just want you to look at your candle, soften your gaze, so just kind of blur your eyes over. Sit up nice and tall. Relax your shoulders. Just listen to my voice. With a really soft gaze on the candle. Let's take a nice deep breath in through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. One more time, nice deep breath in through your nose. Exhale everything out. We'll bring our hands into Anjali Mudra. And my final thought for tonight is to remember to be the light that you want to see in the world. Because it only takes one person to spread that light to many, many others. If you smile, if you're happy, if you spread the kindness and the joy and your light, just watch it spread throughout the world. I hope that everyone has a wonderful Christmas Eve and a wonderful, wonderful Christmas Day if you celebrate Christmas, with family, friends, good food, laughter, and love. If you don't celebrate Christmas and you celebrate something else, Hanukkah or Kwanzaa, then I hope your celebrations there will be wonderful as well. The light and the soul and the spirit in me acknowledges and appreciates the light and the soul and the spirit in each one of you. Namaste. Love you guys. Have a Merry Christmas.